Hello everyone and welcome to Q&A time part 5. My name is Nick and you've probably known that by now. Now each time I do one of these, which seems to be once every 2 weeks, I say this will be the last one and then some more questions come in. So thank you for that. But if this does end up being the last one, fear not, I do have some ideas to fill in this slot. But yes. So the volume of questions this time round has stayed the same, but they're asked by fewer people each time. So let's start then, for want of a better sentence. Yes, I'm getting good at this, aren't I? No, I'm not. Okay, first question this time round on Q&A time 5 comes from Harold Gonk, a lover of all things Spectrum. He asks, this is quite a good question to kick us off with. He asks, if you could be one of the village people, who would it be? Well, I don't know their names off by a hand, really. I weren't a big fan of their work. But they're a 70s, 80s band, aren't they? Which consisted of a group of guys. They might have been gay, I'm not sure. But anyway, there was a cowboy, a construction worker, I've had to write this down, a policeman, a Red Indian, some guy in a black leather hat that looked a bit dubious, an army man, but he sometimes turned up as a sailor, but he was in the military in some sort of respect. They sang songs like YMCA and Macho Man and probably others. Who would I be out of that lot? Well, it's a tough decision, isn't it, really? Let's just go for Red Indian. That's good. Yeah, that'll do. Why? Why would I pick Red Indian? I haven't got the faintest idea. Well, I hope that answers that question, Mr. Gonk. You've asked a few questions here, so we'll come to them. But we'll mix them all in with everyone else's questions. Here we go. So next up, Jamie Williamson, who always seems to ask questions on these, as does Kingston LJ. Who else? I think that's all of you this time. Is it just you three? Sorry if I missed anyone else's questions out when I go through these. I tend to just copy and paste them from the last Q&A. So if I've missed some out, then it's probably going to be Q&A 6, isn't it? But anyway, Jamie Williamson, he asks, why haven't you got MAME going yet? Or a gaming question. Try MAME UIFX, is that? It's the dogs. And HLSL is incredible for creating either properly authenticated CRT effects or lovely glowing vector ones. Okay. MAME, that stands for Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator, and basically the idea is you download it onto your computer and you can play arcade quality games identical from the arcade. I'm not sure about the legality of this thing, but who knows? But yeah, it's just having the time really. I tried to download it quite some time ago and my computer had all sort of runtime errors and various files were missing in certain libraries. So I might try it again. But it's just the time thing really. Running this channel seems to take all of my time really. But yeah, I don't know why I haven't got MAME going yet. It's a time issue, Jamie. But who knows, I might be able to get round to it. Arcade quality games, what's not to like? I bought a new computer in January with slightly quicker processing speed so I can put videos together quickly, so it should be able to handle MAME, I would have thought. Okay. So village people and MAME so far. Next question also by Mr. Williamson. He asked, you work full time, how many hours a week does it take to maintain this splendid channel? Oh thanks, yeah. And feed Igor? Yeah. And are we worth it? Well, of course you're worth it. Everyone's worth it. We're having a laugh here, aren't we? And I hope to think that we're building a community here. We all exchange ideas and views. But yeah, I do work a 42-hour week. And for the next couple of months, it's possible that might go up to 48 hours. I don't really know how I'm maintaining this channel. I did do a short vlog, must be a month or so ago now, maybe longer, where I cut down my 5 gameplay videos a week to 3, so I had some chance of keeping up with it because I was going mad. But what has actually happened is, on the non-gaming videos, I've upped the tech level, got a bit more adventurous, so again it's used all my time up. Hooray! Well, hopefully that means the quality of the videos are better. But it takes all of my time really, Jamie. Occasionally I go out, but I have to plan it like a military operation. So maybe I should have picked the army man to be in the village people and not the Red Indian. But it can be done if you break it into segments. So how many hours did it take? Loads. The blundering videos take the longest, in particular the Tomb Raider ones, so sometimes it's a little awkward fitting those in. So sometimes there might be a big gap because the editing of that is huge, and the processing time. But yes, hope that answers that one, but I'm sure it didn't really. Next up, Kingston LJ, another good chap that always asks questions on here. Are there any computers or consoles you didn't own but now wish you had? I would say absolutely loads really. Growing up, of course, didn't have too much money kicking around, so normally there was a computer wars like there is today. It's normally the Xbox versus the PlayStation, but back in the day it's Spectrum versus the Commodore 64 with the Amstrad CPC in the background, and then Amiga versus Atari ST, and there's always Sega versus Nintendo. It just goes on forever. But are there any systems I wish I'd owned? Well, I try and think of it. A lot of my friends had various systems. There was a Nintendo 64, which I didn't own, which I was quite impressed with, although it seemed to be limited the good games on it. Dreamcast was good, although not many of my friends owned that, and the Amstrad CPC. But now looking back as me now, the one system I wish I could have for historic purposes is the Vectrex from 1982 or thereabouts by General Consumer Electronics. It wasn't a huge commercial success, I don't think, a bit of a failure, because it was around about the same time as the Spectrum. A bit of a clunky device. It took up quite a lot of room. You couldn't plug it into a television set because it did come with its own monitor. But all the games were vector based, the clues in the name there, and the screen tried to emulate the sort of like 3D slight effects that you got from the arcade, tried to lift it a bit. Would look absolutely hopeless now, but Vectrex games. So if I could have any system now, it'd be that. Although I don't think I have the space for it because I'm a bit limited in here. The Vectrex. Another one, Kingston LJ. Another one, which would you have type questions. If you could have one of these arcade racing machines, which one would you choose? Right, okay, so we've got Ridge Racer, Daytona USA, and Sega Rally. Now they're three awesome games from the arcades. Ridge Racer, I believe, is by Namco. The other two, Daytona USA and Sega Rally, are by Sega. I'll have to pick Ridge Racer out of those three. Now Daytona USA in the arcade was absolutely fantastic. I think all three of these you could have like a steering wheel and race around. I didn't play too much of Sega Rally, but Ridge Racer, that's a game I also had on my PlayStation. So I played it more on that than the arcade. I think Daytona USA, I must have only played that about 4 or 5 times. Sega Rally, not at all. Ridge Racer, I used to watch that more in the arcades than play it. But out of the three, Ridge Racer, they're all great racing games from a similar period. So I'd be pleased with any of those three if I had the space and the money for it. But if you got to select one, Ridge Racer. Back to Harold Gonk. Which Spectrum character do you think you are most like? Now, the Spectrum is 8-bit graphics, Harold, as you know. There's lots of Spectrum characters, isn't there? There's Horace, which is my favourite character of all time from the Horace series. Horace Goes Skiing, Horace and the Spiders, and Hungry Horace. There's a Jet Set Willy and Minor Willy, which I'm sure you'll do a joke about. Which one am I most like out of all the characters on the Spectrum? Well, you know that Barbarian game. I don't know if you're aware of the front cover of Barbarian, but the character on the front always reminded it a bit like my physique, so I have to be Barbarian. But no, I changed my mind. Out of all the characters on the Spectrum, the one I most like is Daley Thompson. Yeah, because on the Spectrum, like Daley Thompson, I am white, and I'm good at all sports known to man. Long jump, pole vault, even ski jump from Daley Thompson's super test. So I'm your all-round muscle super guy. So failing Barbarian, I'm Daley Thompson. Can't you see the likeness? Yes, I'm sure you can. Maybe. Okay. Right, this is one. Harold Gonk asks, do you think the Roman Empire controls the world? No. Okay, Jamie Williamson. You can only watch one trilogy of films. For the rest of your life, for some reason. So would it be either Star Wars, Back to the Future, or Indiana Jones? Well, Star Wars, I'm sure you're referring to the original trilogy, are you? Because there's time of recording, there's 6 videos, 6 films now, with a 7th one on the way. But we'll say the original trilogy then, which is A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Back to the Future, which is Back to the Future Part 2 and Back to the Future Part 3. Or Indiana Jones. Well, there's 4 of those, but we'll discard Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because it's rubbish. So out of those 3, tricky. We'll go for Back to the Future trilogy. Why? Well, it's got great music, Marty McFly, Doc Brown, Emmett Brown. Christopher Lloyd's portrayal as Doc Brown in that is absolutely fantastic. These films really are timeless, like all of those really. The DeLorean, that stays with me forever actually. I need your help to get back to the year 1985. And we do practically every week with the games I upload. But Back to the Future trilogy, that just gets it, I think, from Star Wars. But I love Indiana Jones as well. I've been meaning to get Indiana Jones on Blu-ray for a little while now, but for some reason I haven't. I'm waiting for the price to come down because I'm a skinflint. I think I keep checking it on Amazon, it's about £30. As soon as it drops below 25, I'll probably buy it. That's a bargain at 25, wouldn't it be? Who's this question by? I think this is by Jamie again. Who was the best Batman? Apart from Clooney, obviously. Now, there's been a number of Batmen. Modern on the reboot, it was Michael Keaton. He was good. And then it went to Val Kilmer. Not quite so good, but okay. Then we're not mentioning George Clooney, are we? And then Christian Bale, who I often get mixed up with Gareth Bale, the footballer. So it's a good job I weren't cast in that movie, or it might have been a bit different. So out of all those, well, I think we have to take it to old school, really. My favourite Batman, just for pure comedy value, which I always are a sucker for, is Adam West from the 60s Batman. No one delivers lines quite like him. Especially in the Batman the movie, when he's running around with a bomb and can't get rid of it. He tries to throw it over a bridge or a harbour and there's ducks swimming past so he can't. He tries to chuck it somewhere else and there's nuns about so he can't defuse it. And also that classic shark scene where he's climbing some stairs from he's climbing a ladder from a helicopter and a rubber shark that looks obviously like a rubber shark jumps up and they get it with that anti-shark repellent which they just happen to have on them. And he also is a good dancer, Adam West. So Adam West is the best Batman of all time. Don't you agree? I think the answer is yes. Kingston LJ. This is like a pop question from the 80s. Mel and Kim or Salt and Pepper? Well, both were double girl acts. Mel and Kim sang songs like Respectable and Showing Out, but I always thought Salt and Pepper, they were rappers and they were a lot cooler. Song that springs to mind is Push It Real Good, and also Shake Your Fang, Ow, Just What You Gonna Do. I probably sung it a bit better with my quality of my voice here, but Salt and Pepper are the best out of them. Mel and Kim, didn't they start off with Wham initially, as the girls danced in the background? They realised that Andrew Ridgeley and George Michael were gay possibly, and then split off and done their own thing. I'm not sure if Andrew Ridgeley is gay, but George Michael might be. But Salt and Pepper, we'll go with that. But I've mentioned being gay a few times here. There's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm not gay, and I'm getting into trouble here. Village People, they're great, and whatever. Was my lawyer available? I don't think so. Right. Okay, moving on. Kingston, LJ, Banana Man, Super Ted, or Danger Mouse? 3 classic cartoons from my childhood. We can rule out Super Ted straight away because that just got on my nerves. Although I think some of the voices were done by John Pertwee, who's the third Doctor of Doctor Who, and I love Doctor Who, so it gets a bit of points for that. Yeah, quite like that. Now, Banana Man, for those unfamiliar, there's a schoolboy called Eric, and whenever he ate a banana, he turned into a Banana Man and solved whatever, the terrible things of the day. But my favourite out of all of those is Danger Mouse. He was a small mouse that lived in the sewer, I think, with Penfold, a really small guy. Voices done by the amazing David Jason, who also done Count Duckula a bit later on, and also Terry Scott, I believe, from some of the Carry On films and Terry and June. I think Terry Scott might have done Penfold. Correct me if I'm wrong, or I got his name wrong, but that's what I think. Danger Mouse was classic. Also, it's good for merchandising as well. I remember having a polystyrene plane in the playground and throwing that about and it doing loop-to-loops and all sorts of things. Everyone had them. There was a Baron Greenback one, which was his arch nemesis. That was a toad. Yeah, Danger Mouse, and also it got the greatest music as well. So do a YouTube search on Danger Mouse theme music, and I think you'll find that that is absolutely awesome. It's like that, but in tune. So check out Danger Mouse. Okay, Kingston again. There's a lot of similar questions like this week. If you had the space, again, which real pinball table would you have if it was given to you for free? For free? Now, I haven't played that many pinball tables. My main experience of pinball is of the digital recreations on various formats, starting on PlayStation 2 and then getting more advanced in the pinball arcade. Yeah, I mean, I've played Real Life Simpsons. That was a pretty good game. There was a Doctor Who one, which centred around the first 6 Doctors. But if I could have any one, I mean, digital tables I've been most impressed with so far. I've already gone through Series 1 of Pinball Arcade on the PlayStation 3, and we should be coming to Series 2 once the TOCA 2 Blundering series is completed, which we're just over halfway now. But Monster Mash, any of the Elvira tables or Elvira tables, especially a Scared Stiff. But if I had to pick any of them, it'll be Attack from Mars. This has got so many good sounds on it. Basically you have to blow up 5 UFOs that are over different cities, but the speech on that is absolutely awesome. The lights are fantastic. So I had to pick any one, although I'd like to pick more. It'll be Attack from Mars. Check out my review on that if you can. Do a search on the channel, Attack from Mars Pinball Arcade, and you'll see it there. Did have a sequel. I don't think that's been turned into a digital table yet. I can't remember what it's called. Probably Revenge from Mars or something like that. If you know, comment below. That'd be most helpful. Now we're meandering till the end of Q&A time, part 5. So we'll end it with a question from Harold Gonk. He asks, what was your favourite comic as a kid? See, we're keeping it retro. What was your favourite comic as a kid? Beano or Bunty? Bunty. Wait, why did you pick those two? Now, Harold, I've seen Bunty on the shelves, but I've never bought it. What happened in Bunty? Was it just photo stories, or was it drawings, or what was it? I don't know. But getting back to the Beano, now my sister used to get the comics each week, which was like a pulp-based paper it was on. But I like the comic libraries. I don't know if they still do those, where it focused on one character from the Beano. I think Dandy done it as well. And then instead of just a short comic strip, you had a whole book, and the story went on for about 30 odd pages. So I loved the Beano. My favourite ones were the Bash Street Kids with Plug, Fatty, Spotty and other nice names, and the Teach and Cuppa at Cringeworthy. And another one which never seemed to be in the actual comic itself, but just turned up in the libraries every now and again, was not the bricks and mortar libraries. These were comic libraries you actually bought as a publication. Hope we cleared that up. Yeah, the other character I liked was Jonah, the sinking sea goon. He looks a little bit like Plug, I think, but every time he got on a ship it sunk, so it was comical there. Other mentions, Minnie the Minx wasn't quite as good as Dennis the Menace, and Roger the Dodger. Yes, so there we go. So that's another load of questions answered this week. I don't know how long this video has lasted. I don't know if this will be the last Q&A. I'll say it is, but then there'll probably be a Q&A 6. But if there isn't, we've got something else planned. So thanks for watching the videos as always. Thanks to all you people that posted questions. About 3 of you. But thank you for that. No questions from any celebrities this week or Igor. Maybe next time. But there isn't going to be a Q&A 6, is there? We've already established. So thank you once again. Keep watching. I love your comments. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.